You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, guys, we're going to be talking about Michael Jordan here in this video. Actually, we got two stories here. Michael Jordan and Colin Cowherd of FS1. He actually has his own YouTube channel called The Volume. I've actually listened to some of the stuff he's actually had to say over there. Now, I've actually been listening to Colin Cowherd for probably like 15, 16, 17 years. He was on ESPN for a long time. And then he went over to Fox Sports. And of course, he still runs The Herd with Colin Cowherd over there. I really don't watch it that much. Actually, I don't have a cable anymore, so I don't even watch FS1 Undisputed, any of those shows at all. But we'll get into Colin Cowherd here in just a few minutes. But let's go ahead and talk about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. I'm going to repeat that again. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. And I really don't think that it's even close. Whoever you actually put at number two, they're not Michael Jordan. It's clear. LeBron, not even close to being Michael Jordan. Not at all. Well, Michael Jordan, he is the owner of the Charlotte Hornets. It looks like he wants to get out of the ownership business because he's actually looking to sell the Hornets. You guys can see right here on CBS Sports, Michael Jordan in talks to sell majority ownership stake in Charlotte Hornets per report. Now, I'm pretty sure he's going to make quite a bit of a profit here once he actually does sell the team. But it does say here, if he does sell, he's going to keep a minority stake. So just a little bit there. It says here, Charlotte Hornets owner Michael Jordan is in serious talks to sell his majority stake in the franchise, per ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Jordan is considering selling his stake to a group led by Hornets minority owner Gabe Plotkin, as well as Atlanta Hawks minority owner Rick Schnell, according to the report. A sale isn't close. However, if Jordan were to sell his majority stake, he would still remain a minority owner of the franchise. Jordan became the majority owner of the then Charlotte Bobcats in 2010 after purchasing the team for $275 million from former majority team owner Bob Johnson. Prior to that, Jordan had been a minority investor in the franchise dating back to 2006. Look at this. He bought the team for $275 million. That was the majority stake back in 2010. You know he's going to make a bit profit. Since Jordan, the six-time NBA champion and a Hall of Fame basketball player, became the majority owner of the Hornets, the team has struggled to find any consistent success on the court. In the 13 years that he's maintained majority ownership of the franchise, Charlotte has only appeared in the postseason twice, the last time being in 2016. Now, it's no secret, Michael Jordan is not a great owner. He is not a great executive. He's the greatest basketball player of all time. And a lot of these all-time greats, like a Jordan or somebody, usually they don't make very good executives. They usually don't make very good coaches because they expect everybody to actually be on their level, and that's just not the case. Now, one of the few people that I can actually say was actually good at like coaching or something like that was really Larry Bird when he coached the Indiana Pacers. Larry Bird, all-time great NBA player, was a really, really good basketball coach. He didn't coach that long, but when he did coach, he did have success. Michael Jordan, he's on another level of when it comes to being competitive. I mean, how many owners do you know would actually go down and call out his players and play against them? And in a lot of cases, we heard that he was beating NBA players on the Hornets when he was 50 years old. He would actually go out there and do that. That is Michael Jordan. But Michael Jordan, the executive, we know he's not the best. when it comes to personnel moves or anything like that. During Jordan's tenure as team owner, the Hornets have run through 5 different head coaches, have moved on from franchise cornerstone players like Kemba Walker, and have missed on several draft prospects. However, in the last few years, there have been a sliver of hope that the franchise was headed in the right direction after drafting LaMelo Ball in 2020. In Ball's 3 seasons, he's managed to win Rookie of the Year and be named an All-Star in his second season. However, injuries, including a fractured right ankle that ended his season back in February, has stymied any sort of forward progress for the franchise. Now, I'm hearing that LaMelo Ball's future for his career is in jeopardy. So the Hornets, man, they are just a mess right there. They are. Michael Jordan is very, very good at marketing. Michael Jordan's been retired for 20 years now, and his shoe still sells more than anybody else. Michael Jordan's basketball legacy is firmly set. He is the greatest basketball player of all time. But now that actually brings us to one on Colin Cowherd, because it seems like Colin Cowherd is taking a jab at Michael Jordan. I mean, Colin Cowherd, what he actually said here, let's just go over here. This is on TMZ Sports right here. Colin Cowherd, MJ's legacy without Phil and Pippen. A whole lot of mediocrity. Yeah, he actually went there. He went there. Now, Michael Jordan did make the playoffs without Phil Jackson and Scottie Pippen. Now, of course, he won all his titles with Phil Jackson and Scottie Pippen. Now, my thing is, what did the Bulls actually win when Michael Jordan retired the first time? Nothing. They were good that season after the three-peat, but they didn't go to the finals. They didn't. They had Phil Jackson and Scottie Pippen. And then the next season after that, they were pretty mediocre. That was with Phil Jackson and Scottie Pippen. And then Michael Jordan actually comes back, and he comes back for the last 17 games of the season. He makes them relevant. And, of course, they didn't win. But then last time I checked, Michael Jordan did win, 6 finals MVPs. And a lot of that had to do with him. Phil, all-time great coach, not taking that away from him. He's definitely an all-time great. He's an 11-time champion, but he had Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and then he jumped over to Shaq and Kobe. So this is a bad take here from Colin Cowherd, if you ask me. Because we know he likes to elevate one LeBron James, and LeBron James is not Michael Jordan. He's just not. We know that Michael Jordan, the personnel guy, not the best. Even when he was playing with the Bulls, he wanted his North Carolina guys, and the Bulls manager said, no, we're going to do our own thing. They didn't listen to him. But even when Colin Cowherd is trying to uplift LeBron James personnel moves, have you guys seen what he has done with the Lakers? That Lakers tenure has been a disaster. I don't want to hear about the bubble championship. Let's go ahead and check this out right here. Listen to this.
So he tried baseball. He failed. He tried ownership. He was awful. He tried the Wizards. It bombed. Everybody understand that take out Scottie Pippen and Phil Jackson, this whole Michael Jordan mythology is sort of just that. He's arguably the greatest basketball player of all time. Michael was always a bit of a selfish player. He's a bit of a selfish guy, and he's not great at building community. He's great at building wealth for Michael Jordan. That's fine. It's not a criticism. It's a reality of who Michael is.
Wow, a whole lot of mediocrity. I mean, I would never use the word, mediocrity in Michael Jordan. Of course, not everybody's going to be successful at everything. Okay? Not everybody's going to be successful at everything. But what was Scottie Pippen after he left Michael Jordan and the Bulls? What was Scottie Pippen? Not much. Not saying he wasn't a Hall of Famer, but he did nothing. Absolutely nothing after he left the Bulls. And he brings up, Colin Cowherd brings up Michael Jordan and the Wizards. Does he realize that Michael Jordan was retired for 3 years? Yeah, he was retired for 3 years. He came back at age 39. And he still averaged 23 points per game. That's pretty good. That Wizards team was trash. I mean, it was just awful. And at age 40, he actually averaged 20. He's the first player ever over the age of 40 to actually average 20 points per game. Was he the old Michael Jordan back in Chicago? No, he was not. But the man took 3 years off and still came back and was averaging 23 and 20 points per game, respectively. He actually did that. And then he brings up Michael Jordan failed at baseball. Well, Michael Jordan did actually leaving the NBA to go play baseball. That was pretty miraculous. He was actually improving, but it was almost impossible, really, to actually achieve Major League Baseball level. I don't think Michael Jordan had played baseball since high school. And he went over there with the Birmingham Barons, and he hit like, 206 or something like that. Hitting the baseball is probably the toughest thing to actually do in all the sports. That was an uphill climb. That was a challenge. Michael Jordan wanted a challenge. He did it, and he wasn't successful at it. I mean, think of this. If LeBron James played 10, 12 years in the NBA, and we know that he actually was a tight end, do you guys think he would have been successful at just dropping baseball and going over and being a tight end in the NFL? No. He probably wouldn't have been very good. I mean, those guys in the NFL, they're consistent at their craft. So I don't believe that even LeBron James would have been good in the NFL. I just don't see that, man. But Colin Cowherd taking a dump on Michael Jordan like this, that's pretty ridiculous, man. That is really, really ridiculous right there. But what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of Michael Jordan actually selling the Hornets and Colin Cowherd just taking a dump on Michael Jordan, calling him mediocre? A man that won 10 scoring titles. He's winning scoring titles before Phil Jackson and Scottie Pippen. He was Rookie of the Year, 5-time league MVP, but he actually used the word mediocre without Phil Jackson and Scottie Pippen. Yeah, I would actually use the word mediocre for Scottie Pippen after he left the Bulls. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Sports 2 fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.